racing enthusiasts, or should I say vintage racing enthusiasts. This is my 1935 Terraplane, four-door sedan that last raced at Exeter Fairgrounds in Exeter, Maine in 1957. I pulled it out of the woods here 4 or 5 years ago. It was over on its side on a root ball of a pine tree that had fallen over. And believe it or not, it even looked worse than this when we dragged it home. But we tucked a Mustang rear end under it, bolted some components on the front end so it would steer again, and with the help or the blessing of my friend Eddie Moore down at Moore's Auto Sales in Bellingham, Massachusetts, a former Hudson dealer, I was able to get a 308 cubic inch 51 Hudson twin H-power equipped engine to install in it to keep the powertrain in the family. With the help of Rosie Gary up in Lincolnville, we got the motor in, and just last weekend at Arundel Speedway, the car had its debut. There's a couple of interesting things about this car. First of all, back in 1957, when stock car racing was in its nascent stages, nobody professionally lettered a car. Anybody just took an old paintbrush out of a paint can and dabbed some numbers on the door. But this car was professionally lettered back in the day, advertising Guilford dry cleaners. So in addition to the professionally lettering job on the side of the car, the fenders, which were typically cut off with an axe back in the day, these were cut off and rolled under, which is a little unusual. And if you look closely up here behind the wheel, you'll see that you have chains around the frame and the axle to prevent the car from rolling over. I was very fortunate to find a helicopter ejection seat from a 1957 vintage helicopter. And if you look real closely over here on the bottom of the dash, there's a little U-shaped bracket there where the driver would put the gear shift up there and lock it in so that it would stay in second gear and not come out of gear as you went around the corner. All very typical stuff back in the day. So here's the story of my Terraplane. It's been about a 5-year project coming to fruition. We had an opportunity to take it around Arundel Speedway last Sunday, and it ran the boss.